Hello, welcome to my channel, Save Infinity. In this video, I just wanted to do a quick reading from the Rose Oracle deck. So if this video has found you, then I trust that it is for you. However, as always, take what resonates, leave the rest, and use your own discernment. Okay, let's see what messages of guidance the Rose Oracle has for you today. Alright. God, Source, Spirit, Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, Angels, Archangels, Ascended Masters. What messages of guidance do you have for the collective today? Thank you, thank you, thank you. What messages of guidance wish to come through? That was quite a few. We'll take those back up. Which messages of guidance wish to come through? Okay, let's take those three. Okay, so the first card we have here, we are nature, becoming grounded, embodiment, living in connection. Then we have Sub Rosa, hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning and teaching. And then down the very bottom here we have Rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. Okay, so the first card out here, we are nature. So this card's really calling you to and really drawing to the fact that we are nature. You know, we are a part of nature just as much as the plants and the animals and everything else is. And so often as humans, we almost see ourselves as separate than nature, other than nature, or above nature, when really we are just as much as a part of nature as everything else. You know, we're all a part of and intertwined in this, you know, living organism of the Mother Earth. And so this card's, you know, coming out to really remind you of that and to remind you to be mindful of that yourself, you know, within your own life and day-to-day practices. You know, not only connecting with nature itself, you know, like going outside and connecting, you know, with the animals and plant life and what have you, but also connecting with your own body in itself as a vessel of nature. You know, really respecting and nourishing your body, allowing it to relax and find the comfort and fulfillment that it needs and requires also. You know, as humans, it's so easy to just get kind of trapped and caught up in the reality of our own mind and kind of forget about the reality of our own bodies as well, that really help connect and ground us into this reality that we are living in. You know, our bodies are like a living interface in that aspect. You know, really nourishing and treating your body with tender care, love and respect. And really appreciating the wonderful gift that it is. You know, and taking that time to appreciate the greater surroundings of nature itself as well, you know, enjoying the sunsets or sunrises, enjoying beautiful landscapes and, you know, different plants and insects and animals that cross your path. Really, you know, taking that time to just admire and appreciate how beautiful and wonderful the world of nature is. Okay, and then the next card here, Sub Rosa. And this card's coming out to remind you of the great mysteries that are available for us to uncover, discover and remember. You know, secrets that are waiting to be found and teachings that your soul might be ready to learn. So, learning and remembering to look beyond what your eyes can see and dig a little deeper into those sort of mysteries that often, lie within us, or different things that may come across our paths, like certain teachings or, books or pathways or courses. Not being afraid to, try to uncover lost wisdom or ancient secrets or deep mysteries in a way that you feel called to do, following those intuitive nudges. Perhaps there's a certain area or topic or teaching or, book or sacred site or something like that you feel called or drawn towards to study or visit or contemplate, and just really, not being afraid to do so, to see what sort of, mysteries you're able to uncover for yourself, or downloads or synchronicities you're able to receive as you follow along this sort of mystical path. Not being afraid to question certain things you may have been taught or told previously that don't feel right, and trying to uncover your own truth or new truths that may lay beneath the surface. So often so many wonderful mysteries of the universe and our greater reality have, been lost or hidden or buried, but still, can be linked to, energetically through the energetic grids of the earth that, permeate time and space, or through our own DNA or bloodline, or even through, the mysteries of our own soul that can carry so much wisdom and, mystical secrets. Okay, and then the final card here, Rapture. It's not coming out as a kind of more traditional understanding of the word rapture that we may know, but really coming out with a message about receiving and giving love and pleasure. Knowing and remembering that your sensuality, your passion, and your sexuality are sacred and holy, no matter how you feel aligned to express that and connect with that. Not being afraid to connect with your sensual true nature, and allowing others the freedom to do the same. Often through a lot of, more patriarchal type religions, or, sort of different views and things that have been imposed on us throughout our history, have often, placed a shameful energy around sensuality, pleasure, ecstasy and sexuality and all those sort of things. And when it really is, such a natural and pleasurable part of life, that has unfortunately in many aspects become conditional and judged, rather than, being more freely embodied the way nature intended. You're not being afraid to heal from this, and also, healing from any prejudices you may have faced personally, or even any trauma you may have faced, regarding your own sexuality or sensual experiences, etc. Knowing that this sacred expression of your desire is a miraculous and beautiful thing about the human experience on earth. And it's a great form of connection, not only with others, but also with ourselves as well, and our own inner world, and can be, a very powerful and healing energy and experience. We deserve love, we deserve pleasure, we deserve, to receive and give and experience romance and ecstasy and sensuality and devotion. So not being afraid or ashamed of such experiences, and allowing yourself and your human experience to be honored in such a way. And remembering that, sensual experience really is sacred and holy, but that doesn't mean that it needs to be sacred and holy in a way that, you restrict or close yourself off from experiencing it, but just respecting and delving into it in a way that, is respectful and harmonious, but that you're also, really allowing yourself to let go and surrender to the experience in a beautiful and pleasurable way, just as you and everyone deserves. Overall, I feel like such a fantastic message with these 3 cards together here of really getting in touch with your own inner nature and experiences. Really tapping into those mysteries within, hidden in plain sight and hidden within this reality through certain pathways, and the mysteries and secrets within your soul and the energetic reality around you. And then also, really getting in touch with your own body and nature itself. Becoming grounded within your body as a part of nature, as a living vessel and interface for this, organic and alive world, which can be so healing and so fulfilling. And then, not being afraid to get in touch with and express and experience your own sensuality and pleasure and, sexual preferences and love and romance and what have you. Really getting out of just being so stuck in the typical human matrixy mind type version of reality we can so often solely focus on. And instead, really allowing yourself to expand into all the different avenues and experiences that this reality and experience has to offer, with nature and your body as a living organism, with different mysteries and secret teachings that are still, yet to be discovered by yourself or others. And really falling into that sensual and wonderful, experience of sensual pleasure that can bring about so much ecstasy and love and healing and vibrant energy into your life and experience of this human reality. Alright, well, I might leave this one here for now. Sending you so much peace, love, light, and blessings as always. Bye.